Today we're going to learn how to replace the screen on a low-end standard issue laptop. It's a really easy process, something that only takes a few minutes, and it's something that you can do from your home with just a few basic tools. I'm going to be using this toolkit from iFixit, but in reality, the only thing you'll need is a small Phillips head screwdriver and maybe a piece of plastic like a credit card to help you get in between the bezels on the device. This is a really simple process, one that people often pay just a little bit too much to have done for them, but it's one that you can do on your own. You don't need help, and you don't need a whole lot of time. So I'm Alex with Blue Tech, and this is your Tuesday Tech Tip. Let's get it.
So to get things started today, we're working with the Lenovo Ideapad 320 model with a 15-inch screen. Real quick, I'm just going to turn the machine on to show you the problem that we're running into. This is a client's computer, and I believe their kid slammed a Lego down into the monitor. So we're going to power things back off again, and then in most cases, if there's a battery that you can reach, you're going to want to take it out just for safety's sake. In this case, it's not that big of a deal, and there's not one visible in the outer shell anyways, so I'm going to skip that. The Lenovo is pretty easy to work with. You can actually just get your fingers up under the plastic bezel and start prying it apart. I would be very careful with this part. Make sure you're not forcing anything. It should pop out pretty easily, but if it doesn't, take a step back and look at it again. Next, it's a little bit tougher, but we're going to work on getting this hinge cover off. I'm using one of the tools that comes in my toolkit, but again, you can use a small piece of plastic for this. And be careful not to force it. You don't want to break any of the plastic pieces that allow it to stay in place. So once you pull back that hinge cover, you should be able to pull the bezel the rest of the way off. I'm going to pull out a small Phillips head screwdriver. Nothing special here, just a Phillips head. And once I have that, we're going to take out 4 screws that are situated at each corner of the existing monitor. The monitor itself is held in place by a couple of tabs that sit right next to the screws, so you don't have to worry about it falling off as long as you don't have it angled forward. But yeah, once you get that last screw out, everything should stay in place. Make sure you keep your screws in an easy to find spot. I have a tray just off screen that I'm keeping everything in. Next, I'm going to use a piece of the packaging from the monitor, the replacement monitor that I ordered, just to provide a padding for both the old and the new ones during the transition process. You want to be pretty careful right here because there's a small ribbon, a small wire at the bottom of the screen that you're going to work with. That wire, that connector, is held in place by a little pin that pops in to keep everything secure. So make sure that you don't try to tug the connector off. You have to undo the pin first. It's very small and very hard to see. Once you undo it, it should come out very easily. So then set aside the old monitor, bring in the new one, lay it down on that same protective cover. I usually leave the protective film in place until I have the monitor secured, and then I'll take the protective film off once I'm done touching it. But yeah, you're gonna put the connector back in, making sure that you are very careful. You don't want to damage the wire that connects it, and then you want to also make sure that you are putting that hinge, the pin back in place that holds it where it needs to be. So once you secure that down, you should be able to lift the monitor up and put it back onto those little 4 tabs that sit next to the screw holes. go. Everything looks good here. Next, you're just going to put your 4 screws back into the same places that you took them out from. As you're putting these in place, make sure that you don't over tighten anything. You want it to be firmly in place, but you do not want to force anything. At no point should you put any undue pressure on any of the components. It's a pretty sensitive piece of technology, something that can break really easily. Not the best quality plastic in the world. So now that that's done, we're going to remove the protective film. You want to do this before you put the bezel on so that nothing gets stuck and you don't get left with any plastic underneath. So we're just going to discard that. Now we're going to put the bezel back on. So go ahead and situate it back where you had it before. Start popping everything into place. And I apologize, in a second your camera's going to lose focus and it's going to shift around for a little bit. But all we're doing is making sure that that bezel pops back in. You're going to look at every single spot around the edge to guarantee that every connector is in where it should be. So there's our not so graceful transition. Still working on the bezel. When I lift it up, check all the edges, find those tiny little gaps, making sure that I close them all off. Again, going all the way back around. Powering it back on. And there we go. That's all there is to it.
So that's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward process, a pretty simple one, but it's something that can save you a lot of money in the long run. Today we worked on a Lenovo Ideapad, a 320 model, but the concept applies to most of those lower end plastic frame kind of laptops. And the people who use those kinds of devices tend to be pretty budget conscious anyways, so I figured this is a great way to help save a couple of bucks on the tail end and get a little more life out of your computer. Blue Tech is all about trying to provide valuable services to the community, to the small business and the nonprofit community in particular. If you found this video helpful or valuable, please make sure to let us know. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share it on social media. Help us get the word out. We want to make stuff like this available for other small businesses all around the world as a way to help support their cause. Likewise, if you think that Blue Tech might be able to help you out, please reach out to us. We're available at bluetechllc.com. That's BLUETEC LLC.com. And we can be found on social media at Blue Tech LLC. Other than that, we'll leave it there for today, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks. Cheers.